Thanks, Susan. And as I look out at the audience, I see many friends and former colleagues from state and commerce and elsewhere, so I really do look forward to our discussion today. I thought maybe I would just start it by asking both Al and Chuck to talk a little bit about commercial diplomacy, economic diplomacy, maybe define what that means. Is there a difference between commercial diplomacy and economic diplomacy? And what you've seen in your careers and maybe what you see out ahead. Al, you want to go first?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Sean. Good afternoon, everyone. It's terrific for AFSA to organize this event. And it was great that the Foreign Service Journal gave me an opportunity to actually reflect on some of these issues for the February edition. When I started writing that article, Sean, I thought back to the reasons why I joined the Foreign Service in the first place. And I had just come back from a stint teaching school in a self-help school in Kenya. And I remember that August watching then President Nixon take the U.S. off the gold standard, and then Secretary Connolly say, well, the dollar may be, to the Europeans, the dollar may be your currency, our currency, but it's your problem. And I sort of thought, wow, this is really a hugely important, consequential, interesting set of issues. And within a couple of years, I was in the Foreign Service on my way to Freetown, Sierra Leone. I didn't have much imagination in my career. Every single job I had involved economic and commercial diplomacy. And as I began to think about what it was that I was doing for a living, it seemed to me that part of it was just understanding the changing economic world in which the United States was dealing. We soon had the oil shocks. We had a new situation that our country needed to compete in and help shape and transform. Certainly, from the very beginning days, I understood that one of my most important jobs, especially if you were in Freetown, Sierra Leone, or Kinshasa, Zaire, was to support American business, because you were one of the few crutches on which they could lean. They really, really depended on Foreign Service personnel for information and for advocacy and support. As my career developed, I sort of saw there were opportunities for the United States to really shape this transformed world in ways that advanced our national interest. And we, for example, got involved in creating the International Energy Agency as a response to the OPEC oil embargoes. We strengthened the World Trading Organization in order to have stronger rules of the game. We worked in the IMF and the World Bank to really address some of the important financial and development issues in the world. And we had a chance as the United States to lead the way towards a very novel idea to some of our European friends, and that was that you actually shouldn't engage in bribery in order to advance your commercial prospects. And we were able to essentially internationalize the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. So when I thought about that experience, I came to the realization that for the young Foreign Service officers of today, the opportunities for exciting careers and for a really significant role in making the world a better place and a better place for the United States is even greater than it was for me in 1973 when I was starting my career, for all sorts of reasons that you and Chuck and I can discuss. But economics is at the fore. There's no real separation between domestic and foreign policy in the area of economics. There are new players, not just China and India, but also African countries are becoming more commercially important. And so it's a fantastic world of challenge, danger, and opportunity, and our Foreign Service officers are the front lines.